of reason why people don't take paid holiday is because they feel guilty for taking paid holidays while everyone is busy working compared to Japan. Do you feel guilty or is there some pressure to take paid holidays?
I never felt guilty either way.
Yes.
My current work environment is very positive and everyone wants people to have good time off.
Yeah.
And they encourage positive, like, no, you can take your holiday. Like they were very happy to hear I was going on vacation.
You need to take a longer break to get that mental break.
Yeah, for mental health.
Mental health, yeah, it's very important in Canada. I don't know about here.
Okay.
Yeah. How productive can you be if you're working 10 hours a day? You know, at the end there, I don't think you're getting good value,
Yeah.
right? You're just so tired.
I would hope that you guys can get more work-life balance,
Yeah.
sort of feeling to remain dedicated.
Yes. Okay, thank you for your time. I'm Louis. What's your name?
I'm Tara,
I'm Teresa.
Where are you guys from?
Canada.
Canada. Okay. So you guys travel in Japan.
Yes.
Okay. How many days do you plan to stay here?
We'll be here 14 days in total.
14 days. Okay. And I will ask you some questions about the work environment in your country.
Okay.
Are you an employee or self-employed?
Okay, good.
I'm an employee.
Okay.
I'm retired but work part-time.
Okay. And what's your job?
I'm a cashier.
Okay. And what was your job?
An accountant.
Okay. And in Japan, regarding paid holidays, in Japan we have a minimum of 10 paid holidays for a year in law. After 6 months we join the company. How many paid holidays do you have?
Oh, I don't actually know how many days I have.
Okay. Well, when I was working, I'd worked for the company for over 28 years.
Okay.
So I had 6 weeks paid holidays.
Wow.
At the end of that.
Do you get them immediately after you join the company or some months after?
You earn 9.375 hours per month.
Mm-hmm.
So they'll give you a year's worth up front,
Yeah.
and then that's how they calculate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
And
yeah, mine's also immediate. I forgot how many days it was, but like it started right away that I could use them.
I see. Do you have legal minimum in your country? I mean, paid holidays.
We have like statutory holidays where they have to pay us. Yes. So like we have July 1st is Canada Day.
Yeah.
If you work on that, you get paid time and a half.
Yeah, you get extra.
If you don't work, you just get paid regular time.
Is it separate from national holidays?
No, those are the national holidays.
National holidays.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So you have vacation days,
Mhm.
and then you have your national holidays, or
and-
could be provincial.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah.
they're provincial.
So, I mean, vacations days, do you have legal minimum in Canada?
I feel like you'd know that better than me.
I don't think there is.
It
Depends on the type of
company.
the job. Yeah, if you're union or not union.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be a big factor.
I see. And according to a survey, Japan's paid holiday utilization rate is 40%, which ranks the second worst in the world. And majority of reason why people don't take paid holiday is because they feel guilty for taking paid holidays while everyone is busy working. So do you have something like that compared to Japan? Do you feel guilty or take some is there some pressure to take paid holidays?
I never felt guilty either way.
Yes.
My current work environment is very positive, and
Okay.
everyone wants people to have good time off.
Yeah.
And they encourage it. It's never been like forced upon you, like you have to use it.
Mhm.
But it's definitely very positive. Like, no, you can take your holiday. Like they were very happy to hear I was going on vacation.
Okay.
Yeah, for my job, it's important for people to take a vacation.
Yes.
It's for the mental break.
Yes.
So if everybody takes their vacation, we cover for each other.
Mhm.
So then it's not as stressful.
Yeah, you come back refreshed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you usually use them all up within a year?
It depends again on the job. For mine, you could carry forward like a certain amount of hours,
Okay.
and then anything after that, you had to use it or get paid out.
I see. Also, you get paid out if you don't
could,
use
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
If you want to.
Yes.
That's just
That's
for you
nice.
though.
Yeah.
For mine, I should ask if they carry over because I'm not sure. I ended up using mine because I ran out of sick days. But I'm pretty sure they would carry over.
Could only be a certain amount of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In Japan, since Japan's paid holiday rate is really low, in 2019, the government forced people to take 5 days a year, but people still feel guilty for taking the 5 days connect together. So most people ended up taking each day separately. like 1 day off at a time. So usually we don't have a vacation like 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So what do you think about this compared to your country?
Again, I think you need to take a longer break to get that mental break.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you only take a day or two off, you're still worrying about what's going on
Right.
at work.
Yeah.
Right? You need to separate yourself and just clear your mind.
I can get feeling the guiltiness. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
everyone's so busy at work.
Yeah.
I should be helping. At the same time, everyone deserves to have some time to themselves and be able to relax for a bit.
Okay. For mental health.
Mental health, yeah, it's very important in
Okay.
Canada. I don't know about here.
Okay.
Yeah.
And how long is the common to take paid holidays continuously in your company? I mean.
That really depends, again, on what you're doing and individually. Like, I'm here for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That's pretty normal, I'd say. I know my manager's going to be going on vacation for, I think, at least a week soon. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'd say like a week-ish if you're going on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, we've had people take off a month, 2 months sometimes.
Wow.
Yep.
If you here in Japan, if you say you can get 2 weeks off and traveling abroad, people will surprise because it's really long. And once I've never heard some people take 1 month vacation and go in abroad or something like that.
Yeah. Well, my manager went to China with his wife, and if you're going to go there, you might as well spend some time there because her family was there.
Wow.
So.
Okay. And regarding most Japanese people are afraid of causing inconvenience to clients or boss by taking long vacations. So what do people think about the inconvenience caused to clients or customers or coworkers by long vacation in your company?
So for us, when somebody goes on vacation, they appoint somebody into that position
Okay.
to take over that job.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good system.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there is no job like only you can do. So
Depends. Like for me, like there are other people who can fulfill my position while I'm gone. For people who are in like leadership positions, they tend to cover for each other as well. I mean, in a cashier position, it's not like we have constant like regular clients that need a specific person. I think that really depends on the job. But even if like a doctor would go on vacation still,
Oh, really?
that would, like Dr. Gonzalez went on vacation.
Yeah. And then another doctor would cover for them.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. And regarding sick leaves, do you have sick leaves in your country's law?
Yes.
That's separate from vacation days,
yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay. In Japan, there are no regulation about sick leave in law. So only 22% of the company have sick leaves here. So most Japanese people don't know about sick leave. What is sick leave?
If you're sick, you don't come to work. That's kind of it.
Yeah, ours is basically the same. You accumulate hours each month for sick leave, and you can carry forward as much as you need to. For example, when I retired, I had over a year's sick leave that I never used because I didn't get sick. So, but it's there if you need it.
Yeah. And is it paid full amount of your salary?
Yes.
I see. And do you have maximum number of sick leaves in a year?
No, it depends on how many credits you have.
Like I used up all my sick leave for this year because I got sick like for a few weeks. I know I used all of it, but my manager was really good about making sure I got paid out for it. Again, I forgot the actual number of days, but I do have like a set amount of days I can use for it. But even if I get sick again, I'm just not going to get paid for it. But my manager will still let me stay home and have it covered for me. I just don't get paid for it, which is fine.
Yeah, and I believe our federal government has like a 5-day sick policy. So for people who have no sick leave, you can submit to the government and they'll pay you 5 days, up to 5 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
And do you need to submit doctor's certificate when you use sick leaves?
Depends.
I didn't have to at all. I think it depends on the type of sick. Like if you just have a really bad cold, then I'd say no. If it's longer term, you probably do. I haven't had to do that before, but I think so.
Okay. And in Japan, if we are sick and have to take a day off for more than 4 days, we are covered by government insurance. But within 4 days, no payment. So most Japanese people when we get the flu or fever, we use paid holidays, or we work, even if we are sick. So that's why people want to save their paid holidays for when they get sick, or just in case. Yeah. So please give your honest opinion about this compared to your country.
Feels bad. Honestly. I mean, I get wanting to push through it, and if you feel like you can't really, I wish if that wasn't the case.
Okay.
Yeah, it'd be nice if every time you got sick and you're really sick that you could stay home and get paid for it.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons why Japan's vacation leave utilization rate is really low, because people want to save it, right?
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
And overtime, regarding overtime, how long do you often work overtime?
Not really. It was kind of discouraged a little bit because we want to make sure everyone gets enough hours. But when it's necessary, I always get paid.
Okay.
I always get paid properly for overtime. And my management is always really like, oh, if you did overtime, make sure you write it down on the schedule so that we pay you properly. They always want to make sure we get paid properly for it.
And how long do you work per day?
I work shifts, so that really depends on the week. If I have a short shift, it's only 4 hours. If it's a long shift, it's 8. It's honestly really varied for me.
Okay.
I don't have any set definite days and hours per day I work.
Okay.
It's usually pretty mixed with both.
I see. Okay.
So when I was working full time, it was an 8-hour day. So, anything over 8 hours, you would get paid overtime.
40 days per week. 40 hours per week.
Yeah.
And in Japan, the maximum overtime is 45 hours monthly per month. So do you think this is long compared to your country?
Max overtime? We have no max overtime, but we wouldn't want to have that much overtime.
That is a lot of
That
overtime.
It depends on the job.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And in Japan, overtime pay is the hourly pay wage plus 25%. How much is added to overtime payment in your country?
Time and a half.
Yeah, so it's 1.5.
1.5.
Yeah. And then if you had to work, say, you worked Monday to Friday, and then you had to work Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
Saturday would be time and a half. Sunday would be double time.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well,
That's a lot.
again, it depends. Union.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And in Japan, if you leave workplace on time, the people think you are unmotivated. So many people tend to choose to work overtime because they're concerned about what others think or evaluation or something like that. So is there any pressure to leave on time?
We encourage leaving on time.
Yeah, I have.
Go ahead. Okay. You go. Work-life balance is very important in Canada.
Yeah. Sure.
I have heard of that sort of idea, you don't leave until your boss leaves, right?
Yeah.
That's never, not at my work. Sometimes people can go a little bit early. I usually stick around a little bit, not working just to say bye to everyone. And if someone, a regular I know is around, I say bye to them too. But it's never, there's no pressure to stay longer. If we need somebody because someone is late, it's oh, can you stay a little bit longer? There's no pressure to. I've never felt like I have to.
I see. And we have also called unpaid overtime, which means employees do not get paid for additional 15 or 30 or sometimes longer hours. A survey shows that about 40% of Japanese people work an average of 18 hours of unpaid per month. So is there any customs like that in your country?
I think people do it of their own free will, but it's not encouraged. If you work the time, you should get paid for the time.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's always been what it's like in my work too. I think legally, we're not supposed to do anything that's work involved without being paid for it. I think actually I've been told don't do it because you're not being paid.
Right. That's very true. And perspective of work, in Japan, usually people are expected to sacrifice their personal time to contribute to the company, and this leads to unpaid overtime or overwork. So in your company or country, do they expect you to prioritize work over your personal time, or do they think work-life balance is more important?
Yeah, that
Work-life balance
yeah.
is very important.
That my coworkers have always like maintained, make sure you have good work-life balance. Like all of the leadership and specifically my manager, been awesome about that, making sure everyone has good work-life balance. He's really good about maintaining work-life balance, and
that's manager's job, like.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
that's so.
And I used to be a manager, so I would highly encourage my staff to not come in early and stay late, to go home and
So is it like people think in Canada? People think work-life balance will give you more high productivity or something like that.
Definitely. I mean, how productive can you be if you're working 10 hours a day? At the end there, I don't think you're getting good value.
Yeah.
Right? You're just so tired.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say, my sister's a pharmacist, and depending on the pharmacy, it can be kind of like that, where you have to work overtime, really long hours without breaks. So again, your mileage may vary. Generally speaking, I would say it's more work-life balance. Yeah, that's always been like highly encouraged to keep everything balanced.
Yeah. Okay. And the last question, please give your honest opinion about the Japanese work environment or the Japanese people how work compared to your country.
Well, from what I've seen, I think the Japanese people are very dedicated. We're so impressed with everything that we've seen on our vacation. How people are very diligent. If we're at a restaurant, everything's cleaned up. You wouldn't find that in Canada.
Okay.
So that part is great, but I think there has to be some more of the work-life balance for you guys too. Right.
Yeah. So it's a pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
So in Japan, if you're like a tourist perspective, it's very clean and everything is like a very good service.
Yeah,
But
extremely.
from labor, work, it's very stressful.
Yeah. My understanding is that it has been, especially in terms of like corporation, it's been slowly improving.
Yes.
But from what you've said, it still has a long ways to go. I think it could improve quite a bit, and I would hope that you guys can get more work-life balance.
Yeah.
I also understand the sort of feeling to remain dedicated.
Yes.
I do think there is a proper balance that would be very helpful in terms of physical and mental health for everybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Plus, I don't know what your unemployment rate is like here.
It's very low.
Very low.
Like a 4%, I think.
Okay.
2 to 4%, I think.
What's Canada? 7?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah,
So it's
pros
not
and
like you
cons.
can really hire a lot more people to cover either, right?
Yeah. And you have a better insurance, isn't it? If you lose job, people get that.
Unemployment
Yes,
insurance. Yeah,
yes.
if you get laid off, you do get unemployment insurance.
Maybe that's why, right?
Maybe
So
so.
in Japan, we have, but it's very low, so people have to work.
Makes sense.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.